Nothing says Australia quite like the Outback. From the natural wonders and rich culture to the extraordinary landscapes. Join me as I take you on a journey exploring the food and flavours of Australia's Northern Territory.
Oh, wow.
That's what we're after.
My adventures will take me to the wondrous Kakadu National Park.
You can't help but feel tranquil and peaceful in a place like this.
Stunning waterfalls of Katherine,
Edith Falls and homemade canapes. I'm in heaven.
Darwin's dazzling markets,
I think people here in Darwin have the right idea, and I could definitely get used to this.
and the vast desert plains of the Red Centre.
Well, I love a good sunset, so I'm pretty happy right now.
On today's Outback menu, I serve up some kangaroo at Mushroom Rock.
See how juicy that is? It's so lean. I love kangaroo.
Explore an incredible ancient Aboriginal rock art site.
It's quite surreal sitting here knowing that this has been here for thousands of years.
Take a sunset canapé cruise through yellow water billabong.
What a feast. This is like the best cruise I've ever been on.
And Magook Plunge Pool is a beautiful spot for a picnic.
A super easy salad, perfect time for a little dip. Of course, after I finish my picnic lunch.
My Outback journey begins about 240 kilometres east of Darwin in Kakadu, Australia's largest national park. With amazing landscapes, wetlands and wildlife filling an area half the size of Switzerland, Kakadu is somewhere I've always wanted to explore. Not only is Kakadu renowned for its natural beauty, it's a place of huge cultural significance and is home to many ancient Aboriginal rock art sites. Albir is one of the most famous, and Savana is showing me around this amazing site.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
We're at the top of Ubia now, and the art sites that we're going to see down the bottom, they talk about the law, so for the people of this area, and they're more teaching stories.
Right.
And you've also got paintings there that talk about what sort of food you can find in this area.
Some paintings at Albir are up to 20,000 years old, which makes the artwork one of the longest historical records of any group of people on Earth.
So this site in here is like a classroom.
Oh, yeah.
You've got your window here and then your chairs here.
now that you say that, it's obvious.
And then you've got your blackboard with all the stories on there.
Yeah, it's quite surreal sitting here and seeing this artwork and knowing that this has been here for thousands of years and it's still intact. You can see the definition of the strokes.
Absolutely. So this one here is like an illustration of what you can find. So a menu basically. Emus, crocodiles as well. Well, definitely a lot of fish that can be found in this area.
Savannah, if this was an ancient menu, what would you be picking on the menu?
There's too much to choose from, but I mean, I love the barramundi.
Juicy barramundi. I'd go for that too, I think. You can't help but feel tranquil and peaceful in a place like this. It's just so quiet. All you hear is the leaves in the wind, the little rock wallabies jumping around, the birds. It's such a special place. Almost feels a little spiritual up here because it's so quiet. And you can see all the way to the horizon. It's just such a gorgeous place of the world. I'm here at Mushroom Rock, and this place in Kakadu gets its name from this rock just over here. Apparently it looks a little bit like a mushroom. This land is owned by the Bunij clan, and they love to come here for fishing and hunting in the wet season. This is completely flooded, so you can imagine the wildlife. Now I'm going to cook a beautiful piece of kangaroo. You can see how lean it is. I adore kangaroo. It's slightly gamey, but it's not overpowering. And I'm going to serve it with rosella. Now this has a great flavour. It's crunchy, first of all, but the flavour is slightly bitter. It almost tastes like an unripened plum. This will go so well with the kangaroo. Now, for the kangaroo, I'm just going to season it with some salt, a generous amount of salt so we get a lovely crust on it, some freshly cracked pepper, and now we'll just pop that in a pan. I've just been preheating the pan with some extra virgin olive oil. Nice sizzle, and you can see it's quite a thick piece of kangaroo, so it's going to take about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Now while that's cooking, let's get on to a little side that's going to go with it. Good old broccolini. You know, usually we just boil it, but by putting it on the open flame, we get a gorgeous, intense, nutty flavour from it. It goes so well with kangaroo, and we'll just pop them on. And because they're so small, they don't take long at all. What we're looking for is still a crunchy broccolini, but just a charred outside. I can already start to smell it toasting. Also, these are some pickled onions. Now, what I've done is just cut the onions in half, and I've just taken the little petals away from each other, so just separating it. So I'm also going to put them on the rack over the open flame, just to get some colour around the rim of the onion. So I'll just add a few of those. Now I'm going to give this kangaroo just another minute and I'll turn it over and finish cooking it. We have to rest it also. And I'm not the only one that's going to enjoy this dish. I can see an eagle just circling me. None for you, all for me. Okay, this kangaroo is perfectly cooked, so I'm going to take it out of the pan now and just place it on the board to rest. That gives me enough time to make a quick sauce. Also, the broccolini is perfectly charred, still nice and crisp in the centre. And have a look at these gorgeous onion petals. See how they're blackened on the outside? That's flavour, I love that. All right, in this pan, I'm going to deglaze with some red wine. Red wine and kangaroo go so nicely together. But just to give it a bit of a zing, I'll add some of the pickling liquid from the jarred onions. This is almost going to give it a bit of a sweet and sour flavour. We're also going to get that sweet and sour flavour from these gorgeous rosellas. And what I've been doing is just taking the small petals away, just almost pinching it and then removing it. You can see the bud inside. And what we eat are the petals. So intense in flavour. Okay, this is reduced nicely. So now we can add just a small amount of stock. And this will reduce quite quickly because we've got a rapid boil. Oh, it smells good. And just to give it an extra dimension, some star anise. I'm going to add 2 star anise. This one's just broken in half. And just warm it up in this red wine sauce. And automatically you'll get that licorice scent from it. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that, so let's plate up. This has been resting. I'm going to cut it on an angle. I want you to see how perfectly cooked inside it is. See how juicy that is. It's so lean. I love kangaroo. And you know what? It's actually quite readily available now, not just here in the Northern Territory, but everywhere in Australia. It's a great substitute for beef. So once you've sliced it, I'll just get that last little end bit there. Have a taste. Oh. So juicy. I love that. And I'll just spread that out like a marionetta just so we can show off that gorgeous pink colour. Now just to round off this sauce, I'll add about a teaspoon of butter and we'll just swirl that in there. Make sure it comes together and look how glossy it becomes, just divine. Now I've got my spoon. I'll take out the star anise. They've done their job. We'll just scoop that sauce and just around the meat and around the plate. I love my sauce, so I'm going to add a generous amount. We'll turn the heat off and then I'll take these gorgeous broccolini and just rest them over the meat and on the plate. Our pickled onions that have been charred, and then our rosella. We'll just scatter them on the plate. I'm pretty happy with that. And traditionally, the Bunich clan would cook this on coals or an open flame. I think I've tried to emulate that with the smokiness of the broccolini and the onions. I'm gonna dig in. Ooh, love a bit of kangaroo with that crunchy rosella and the sauce. Wow, that is so delicious. And I think what makes it even more delicious is that view. What a dining room, right? Amazing.
I couldn't think of a better way to end the day in Kakadu than with a beautiful sunset cruise on the yellow water billabong. And just to take it to the next level, it's a canapé cruise. As a feature of Kakadu's annual Taste Festival, you'll get to try a delectable array of native-inspired canapés.
Yum, look at those little money bags.
Mangrove jack, local fish.
What a feast, thank you. This is like the best cruise I've ever been on.
Accompanied by a glass of champagne.
Cheers. How good's this? Sunset drinks, can you beat this?
One of Kakadu's most spectacular wetland ecosystems, yellow water boasts dramatic scenery and a vast range of bird life.
Dusk is probably one of the most magical times to come out on the water. We're in yellow water and all of the birds have come out to play. You can see them just nibbling on the lily pads over there. You've got the jabiru. I mean, this bird is so beautiful. Those big, long legs, the long neck. It's almost like a metallic blue colour on its neck. It's absolutely gorgeous.
You'll also spot some of the billabong's huge saltwater crocs.
And here we go.
That was a serious crocodile rumble. These lily pads are incredible. They're huge. They look like upside down umbrellas. You feel like you could almost walk on them. Almost, but I'm not going to try because there are some serious crocodiles in there.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Dale Austin. I'm going to play the Margot for you. I'm one of the traditional owners of the Murrumbut clan.
The next day, as the sun heats up, I head inland for some croc-free billabong swimming. Along the way, enormous termite mounds line the road, some up to 7 metres high. As the landscape greens, I hop out of the car and explore the forest, strolling my way to one of Kakadu's lesser-known attractions, the pristine natural waterfalls and plunge pools of Maguk.
You can see the calm water behind me and I can hear the waterfall also. This is the perfect spot for a picnic. And when I'm doing a picnic, I want to make sure that it's really simple, it's tasty, and you can have it at room temperature. So this is my pasta salad with an egg and caper sauce. I like to do everything in the same bowl so it's super easy. These are 2 eggs that I've just par-cooked. So they're going to be really gooey in the center. It's going to make the sauce super cheesy. And have a look, when I break it up, they're almost still raw. So when I break that, the egg runs. That's what I'm looking for. I'll do the second one. So have a look, breaking that open. And then just piercing that. That is going to form the creaminess of this sauce. Now into this, I'll add a generous handful of capers, about 2 tablespoons. Try to use those little capers because I find them sweeter. These ones are in brine, so I've also washed off the brine. And before I head off for a picnic in the outdoors, I like to put everything in little containers, chopped up, so very little preparation needs to happen. I'll use a fork just to crush that egg white, and this will start the base of our sauce. Now to give this some heat, I'll add some chili. Look at this gorgeous chili. I'll use half of it because it's got a bit of a kick to it. And then finally slice it You can just use some pepper, or if you're here in the Northern Territory, there are so many varieties of wonderful native spices. Pepperberry works nicely with this. Also, if you can get your hands on some dried bush tomato, it works really nicely for this salad. So chopping this into small bits, so we get all those beautiful speckles of red throughout the sauce. Pop it in. A pinch of salt, not too much salt because there's some salt in the capers and there's some salt in the mustard. So a generous teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And I want quite a lot of dressing. Because I'm going to be adding the pasta, you want it to soak up all the flavours. Now we'll just mix that together. Again, with the back of the fork, so it crushes the egg. See how it looks automatically saucy without adding olive oil. But I do want to add some olive oil to this because it's a lovely flavour. So 1 tablespoon. For some zing, some red wine vinegar or some lemon. And then again, we'll give it a mix. I'm going to have a taste of this just to make sure that it's balanced. That is such an awesome sauce. Even that, just put over some fish, is so delicious. Okay, now we need to fill up this salad with some other ingredients. Some semi-sun-dried tomatoes. I like these because they're really sweet. And we're going to have 2 different textures of tomatoes in here. So a small handful of those. And some green olives. I've taken the pit out. I always like to buy my olives with the pit in them and then take them out yourself. They always taste so much better. A little bit more labour, but again, if you're going for a picnic, do it ahead of time. And this part is just so easy, just assembling. And for a pop of freshness, cherry tomatoes, we're going to cut in half. Don't worry about them being cool because you know what? They taste so much better if they're brought to room temperature. I want about half a punnet. And then canned tuna. Always have some canned tuna on standby because it just bulks out a salad. It goes so well with all of these flavours, the tomatoes and the capers. This is 2 cans. And then the pasta. I'm using shells, but you could also use orecchietti or any pasta that has a nice little groove in it, just like this, because it's going to act like a pool for all that sauce. So I've just cooked that and then cooled it down in some water and just separated the pasta, added a little olive oil to it so they don't stick. And then just to bring the whole thing together and freshen it up, some basil, we'll tear that in there. You could use some parsley if you like. You could use whatever soft herb. I'm going to give that all a nice mix. Look at that pop of colour. You know that's going to be so yummy. All right, to plate up, pile it up. This is rustic, fresh food. You know, a few years back I came to the Northern Territory and I would crave this because it was so yummy by the time it hit lunchtime to have a salad with such strong dressing. And any leftovers you could add to this. As long as you've got the base of that sauce, it goes with so many different things. A super easy salad, a perfect picnic dish to do. I'm going to have a taste of it. Some of those pastas with the olives, yum. That is super delicious, and look where I am, surrounded by monsoon rainforest, and it's the dry season, so it's the perfect time for a little dip. Of course, after I finish my picnic lunch.
Experienced Kakadu from the land and water, but now I think it's time to get a view from up above.
Excited. It's amazing how vulnerable you feel in a helicopter that's got no doors on it.
Witnessing this diverse landscape from the air is simply awe-inspiring. From the endless woodlands and winding rivers to the ancient sandstone escarpments, much of this beautiful land is untouched.
Oh wow, look at that gorge. Wow, that is incredible. Oh my gosh, there you go. That's it there.
That's Twin Falls right there.
Twin Falls. Beautiful.
It's very pretty.
It's the sheer rawness of the falls that you just go, oh, it's so breathtaking. Wow, that is unbelievable. It's pretty amazing when you come out here and you see the sheer size of Kakadu National Park. It's one of those things you really need to see with your own eyes. It's absolutely breathtaking.
Kakadu is rich in bush foods if you know where to look, and the Indigenous people have been doing it for thousands of years. Today, I'm lucky enough to experience an Indigenous forage with Patsy and Yoda. Yoda runs a pop-up dining business serving locally sourced foods and turns to Patsy for her extensive knowledge of local flora, which has been passed down through generations in her family.
This one we call manbit walk.
Is it easy to get these ones?
Easy to get. You can see like a little grass. I mean, yeah, like a little wheat.
Can you eat them raw or they have to be
No,
cooked?
you can't eat raw. When we cook, it's getting really nice and soft and eat.
Yeah, nice.
Sweet. I think this
What
one
else have
maybe
you got? Yeah.
it's really sweet.
Sweet?
Yeah, try,
Is it?
You get little pockets.
Oh, yeah. I would never assume that I could actually have a taste of that and get sweetness out of it. You know what I've got my eye on here? That Gucci bag. That is so beautiful. Patsy, how long does it take you to make a bag like this?
Oh, this one, it was take me for 2.5 months.
Wow.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen anything like this
No.
before, Patsy.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It is beautiful. It's
Everyone asks
very,
me,
I
but
know
it's
everyone
lots
wants
of long work to do this.
Yoda, you've got such an interesting business. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so Ferber's a roaming restaurant. We don't have a permanent place, so pretty much Western Australia and Northern Territory is our backyard or our office.
We're going to be trying your food tonight. Tell me a little bit about what's on the menu. How many people are coming tonight?
We have around 40 people.
Yeah.
We like to keep it nice and intimate, so we're trying to focus on ingredients that are found here. Plenty of green tree ants, the Kakadu plum. We don't use beef, pork, chicken or lamb. You'll find kangaroo, emu. There's just an amazing amount of ingredients up here, and it's people like Patsy and the traditional owners that hold all this knowledge.
Well, when the sun goes down here over this billabong, I can only imagine how relaxing and serene it's going to be, and to even have a glass of champagne in my hand and have 12 courses. Wow,
Yeah,
I'm in heaven.
should be a fantastic little evening out
Tough
here.
job, right?
Yeah, it is hard work.
And enjoy your dinner.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me here. Lovely to meet you.